back with another one, guys. We have our 2005 Mazda 3, and it's going to be the 2.3. Alrighty, we are doing the valve cover gasket change. As you can see here, it's looking a little dirty and a little oily, and that's your sign right there. You can do it anywhere between here, and you always get the same results if it hasn't been changed out in a while. Same thing with the spark plug hose as well. We're going to change that out today. We're going to take a couple of things off, and I'm going to show you. Let's get started. All right, guys, a couple of things you're definitely going to need to go ahead and do this. Of course, we got our valve gasket cover part number, just in case you guys are wondering. Got it from AutoZone, and it did cost 30 bucks. Pretty inexpensive. 10 millimeter, I noticed there's a lot of 10s over there. Magnet, you might need it just in case you drop a screw or something. Flathead, some pliers, and if you don't have the ratchet, automatic ratchet, which this is, or you can call this an impact, but it's really not an impact because it's not really enough to take off lug nuts, all of them. But it can be impactful, so watch how you use it. You can just use a regular socket or a regular ratchet. And I'm using a 1/2 with a 1/2 10, or you can use 3/8 or adapters, whatever you got. So first things first, as you see all the screws all the way around, gotta get those off. We're gonna take off the coils first, and then we're gonna get all the wires out of here next. So that's gonna be our first thing first. So I'll show you. Now these bushings here, let's see, do they come off? Because I feel like these are screws. They do. I feel like they do. So yeah, these have, and you can tell around them, you might need to get like a wrench to get them off. And it looks like it might be like a 13 or a 12. Definitely doesn't look like a 10. So I'm gonna grab that and see what I gotta do to get that off of here. If not, I'll just use some pliers, but give me 1 second, let me see. All right, so yeah, we're gonna go ahead and use a 15 mil open-ended. Go ahead and get that off of there. I highly suggest these tools, man. It makes your life a whole lot easier, but if not, don't worry about it. And that will get this one off, and then there's one off over there too as well. And after a while, you can spin it off with your hand. Put those to the side, don't lose them, because we will be putting that back on. So boom. And that is a nut too, guys, by the way. That looks like a deep 10, or it might be an 8, just depending on the size. So don't think that's all you have to take off. But basically, and so, oh, I'm sorry. Boom, right on top of there. Boom. And that just comes off like that. Okay. Ratchetable wrenches. Another thing I didn't mention is gloves. I don't have one on because I'm recording, but wear gloves, people. It helps. It just does. All right, that should be. That's pretty tough. Okay. Nah, yeah, it wants me to go the whole way. But eventually, all right, so yeah, like I said, You really probably don't have to remove it, but in a way you do. See, I can pull it out, but I'm straining that. When I try to pull this out, it's like, it's really tough. So probably want to take that bolt down there off as well, and then it should release and come up. Next, we're gonna do the coils. Forgot there's one more right here. Same thing. This one comes a little bit more easier though. So that one gonna be just like that one. And let's see if I can get these by hand. Oh, easily. And then that one didn't even have a clip, it was already broken. So then I'll kind of get this off of here too as well. Kind of want to use two hands. Let's see if you guys can see this angle. Can you see what I'm doing? You really can't. But yeah, you want to pull that off of there so you can get this out the way. So this yellow thing right here, that's what I'm about to do next. And I broke mine, unfortunately, but whatever. It's okay, it's not dire. Came off though. You just want to remove those, put that out the way. All right. Same thing kind of here. Let's see if we can just get this clip off. Real easy. Same thing. Boom. And then, yeah, I'm gonna have to get in there with my hand. Yeah, same thing. Let me see if I can get this off. And you may not have one of these tools, these picks, but you see we have these little clamps in there. I'm sorry, this clamp. And that's what's holding those little things on. And you kind of gotta get it in there and pry it back. You probably need two of them because there's one on each side, just to, you know what I'm saying? Just get it off there. But that's kind of the trick on how to get these off. You don't want to break them off. That one came off smooth, and that one just broke. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. So next, use a flathead to unclip that. Get this hose kind of loose. We're going to, this one should just kind of come off when you push this in. We want to disconnect this one. Should have okay, so these have pinchers. So see, on the side you want to pinch that in, and then pinch that side in, and then it'll slide off. Like that. There's no way that's built like that. That sucks. And it's like they had this on top of here to hold that. But I have some tape, so that's fine. Just take that part out. There's no way I broke that like that. So yeah, these are 8s. Like I said, just take your time. Get them off there. So you don't strip the thread with this. I usually use a socket, but this is a whole lot quicker and I know what I'm doing. So boom. And the bolts do not come out, so they just kind of get loose and they stick in there, so you won't lose them. Now on these, you're gonna have to get a deep 8 or a deep socket that fits that. So I'll probably switch to a deeper socket because that 8 is not deep enough. But yeah, probably gonna use a deep socket on that one. But you want to do the same thing here. Now those are still 10s on the coils. I haven't took those out yet, but I'm just gonna go ahead and just take out all the 8s that I possibly can. Let's see this one, don't forget. Okay, that looks like a little tab you can pop up, or prop up, or you can just grab this and take this off of here, because that's gonna come with it too. Or can I'll just take this up here in a second without my hand. You probably can get like a screwdriver under there and pop that off. But yeah, I think that's all the 8s I can get with this. And then it looks like there's there's 1 8 under that coil. So I'll take the, oh, there's another one right here. So boom. Right here too as well. Yeah, so I'll just switch to the deeper socket and then get that coil, get that 8 and get these coils out. One indication you can tell, because you can see the oil that's in there. So make sure when you're taking these out, take them out, spin it, and then pull it out. Don't just try to pull it out, because you could rip this part from that and possibly mess it up. And I'm gonna try my best to keep these in order. So I'll probably place it down like here, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know which way they go back in. And now we're here. So now I'll get the deeper 8. But before I do, I'm gonna blow this off of here just in case any debris gets in. But I'll probably leave it because it's not a lot, but I'll clean that off before I put it back in, because that could get in there and be a different story. So make sure you clean that off before you do so. But next I'll get a deeper socket and then get these other 8s off. Okay, so after searching and diving, you can use a 5/16 or a deep 8. I use the 5/16, so that's what I got. I'll just add this on here. Do the switcheroo. See, like I said, 5/16. You'll be able to use that. Let's see what I get. Boom, perfect. So let's see if these screws come all the way out. Same thing here. So they don't want you to lose the screws with this one. So that's a good thing. A lot of them you can. But you'll basically just get it to this point. Okay, and then as I go all the way around, you will notice the valve cover start to get a little loose. And then I'll kind of do the next step here and show you. You see it's starting to come up now. Okay, I want to, oh, and then this one right here in the middle, last but not least. So I want to say that's it, and then like I said, I get that off of there, and then I'll be able to pull this. Oh, one more. Can't forget that one. So try your best to get those wires out the way. And then I'll get that off of there, and then this thing comes up. Now sometimes you may need to use a flathead to get under there. I just have this flathead, okay. So get under there and get into the into the valve gasket cover, and kind of pry it open, as you see here. So I'm kind of, yeah, boom, just like that. So you might have to do that too as well. With this guy over here, you actually just take this part off right here, and it goes like, it slides back in, and you just slide it back on, but you can just slide that off and then he'll come up. Let's see if I can just get off one here. So it's still stuck down just a little bit. Oh, there we go. Bada boom, bada bing, and we're off. Oh, see, one of them did fall. But for the most part, the rest of them didn't. That's the one right there that fell, just in case I have my magnet right here. So I'll clean that out and then put the new one in. You use a pick that I had earlier. And you'll be able to get in between here and grab that valve out of there. Grab the gasket out of there. This is the gasket. And you'll be able to get in here. Just kind of stab it. You can tell this bad boy in here. take it out that way. Let me make sure I show you guys what I'm talking about. So you'll stab it. Flathead might get it, but this for me always works. Boom. And then get under there and just take it up from the rest. So like I said, I'm doing this literally with one hand. You guys definitely should have a better angle, better view. And then we have that one, this big one, right? And then we have, and this also looks kind of new, so I don't know if it's a head gasket leak or what, but this looks kind of new to me, honestly. So we're gonna change this anyways. Let's hope for the best. Let's see. This. I mean, usually they don't look as thick and they're not as strong. But the new ones usually come in blue. So I don't know if this is original or if they got it just from I ordered it from another shop or something or whatnot. But we're gonna change it just to make sure, because I'm smelling burning oil. And like I showed you guys, I saw. But you get the concept. You're gonna get in here and get it out with the pick or a screwdriver. I mean flathead. Yeah, there you go. So at this point, you should be lining up the valve, pressing it in. It's supposed to go all the way in. So when you're doing it, you don't want nothing sticking out. As you can see, there's my last part sticking out. So it's all sealed, nice and thick. Yeah, so this is what you want to look for. You want it to be out, not the same size as the other one. Not same size as the actual cover. You want it thicker. You just want to press that in there pretty good. Let's see if I can do this one. I would do the easy one on video, of course, but this is all easy work though. So then, yeah, which way do I go? Which way do I go? Kind of want to line it up with how it looks. And then this is definitely the bottom, and then this is definitely the top. So you just kind of match that up here. Press that in, press that in, press that in. Just press it in all the way around. Press it in all the way around. I wish I was better showing y'all. I'm just over here doing it. Okay. Boom. So yeah, see how it's just kind of like going in now perfectly. Boom. Okay. Let's try these other two. And then, so like I said, this is the top. This is the top. Same thing here, just press it in. Oh, wait. Line it up first. All right, cool. And that one is definitely simple. I'm just pressing it in. I'm not doing nothing extravagant. Boom. Just making sure, just take your finger around it, rub it, make sure there's nothing's popping up back at you. Same thing here. Like I said, that is the top, this is the bottom. So you want to line it up correctly here. And then push it in, push it in. Like that. Then boom, there you go. So that's the new valve cover seal. That's what you want to see. You want to see it taller than the actual cover, so that way you know it's blocking it up. So then you'll run back, you know, put it in. But one thing I want to show you guys, if you notice any oil in your spark plug holes, go ahead and take the spark plugs out so that oil can drop into the engine. It's going to burn out as soon as you cut on the car, but you don't want the spark plugs to be oiled up, because then that will cause misfires and stuff like that. I use a PB blaster, but at the same time, this PB blaster also stops squeaks, protects against corrosion, long-lasting lubrication, all that good jazz. So I suggest the PB Blast Max. And then once you get that finished, then you can go ahead and slap that bad boy back on there and then put it back on. So I'll do that here in a second. I'll be right back. All right, so now we're back on here. One thing I didn't notice, that I accidentally dropped the screw out, and I thought it went back into this hole, but I forgot this hole comes with its own screw. So remember that, just FYI. Make sure if you drop any screws, you just remember where they came out. Now, usually they have like a sequence on how you want to kind of put this back, and you want to go like kind of crisscross. So if you do this one, let's say we do this one first, and then let's do that one. So basically, you kind of want to crisscross it. I'm not gonna sit there and confuse you, and you know there might be a diagram online that might show you, but to be honest with you, as long as you just kind of get it down right, you should be good to go. Boom. So just crisscrossing. So that way we level it out. Level it out on each side. I'm just sitting on something I should be sitting on, but whatever. And then let's see here, do we have any on this side? No. So that one too as well, don't forget the middle. And you guys can hear the torque in this, it's pretty intense. So I'm not going too amazingly hard on torquing that up. Just getting it right and snug. Okay, and that's all of them as far as that goes. And then we'll put this one back up in here. And then of course, you know, we'll use the 15 to tighten that back down again. So trust me, you guys won't be as sloppy as me because you'll have two hands. But I'm just trying to show y'all as best as possible. So that way you get a good gist of it while I'm still doing it, so I don't skip anything. I know I skipped putting the valve cover back on, but it's just as easy as taking it off. Little stuff like this, you just want to see for your own eyes, and that's what I'm here for. So if you look, should be already kind of going back down. And we're almost in the hole already, so. That's why I say these automatic wrenches, because they save you some time. Imagine if I had an old manual one. Be here all day. All day. All right. So that's tight. And we're just going to tighten it, you know. I'm not going to go too overboard with it. Boom. Bam, bam. All right, so then we'll be able to put that 10 back in there in a second. But make sure all these are tightened down. There's probably a torque spec to it, but for people who are doing DIY, I wouldn't get too techie on it. Just make sure you're snugging them down. And then if you're using that, make sure you go behind with hand to make sure that they're all snug. That's best as you want to get it. You don't want to kind of underdo it or overdo it, but that's the gist of the job right there. You're going to put that back on. I'm going to tape that up, probably replace that for right now. I'll tape that up, plug everything back together, and then I'll show you guys everything when it's done. I mean, I've already took everything off. It's literally the same thing. There's nothing different. There's no special thing that I have to do. Just put the coils back in and put the spark plugs back in, of course, first, and then put the coils first, and then put the wires in, and I'll show you the finished product. And that's it, guys. That's the end of the video. Everything's back on. Everything's back in there clipped. Even got that screw in there. I suggest leaving that off before you put that screw in there. That was stupid. And also, if you don't feel like breaking little things, which you will, don't do it. Don't DIY. Those things break. You just have to fix it. But everything's back together, good to go. I'm gonna just crank it up and let y'all hear it. Let's see how good I did. No engine lights. A whole lot smoother and a whole lot better. And like I said, you're gonna see that smoke because the oil just came out of the tailpipe. Whew. And it's gonna burn like that until that engine drops out of the engine. So you'll see that smoke and then it'll go away. Test drive this bad boy and that we are good to go. No more smoke. Engine sounding beautiful. Next project, you guys will see the tensioner belt. I'm going to change the tensioner because sometimes when I drive, that tensioner shakes, it makes the whole car shake. It was solid. Thanks for watching.